begging for bread. I can count on God, He won't let me down. Always do just what He said. Pain and suffering, He has brought me through. Arms wide open, He always welcome you. I've been blessed in so many ways. I just lift my hands and give Him all the praise. Another blessing. Another blessing. Another blessing. Another blessing. I got my legs, y'all, and I can walk. I got my mouth, y'all, and I can talk. Even the air that I receive, I got my lungs, y'all, and I can breathe. I looked around, this is what I see. Woke up this morning, got up out of my bed. I looked around, this is what I said. Thank you, Lord, for the blood you shed. You put a roof up on my head. Thank you, Lord, for another day and all the blessings that you sent my way. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave, but you told death, get back and behave. Ooh-wee, another blessing. Ooh-wee, another blessing. Ooh-wee, another blessing. Ooh-wee, another blessing. I never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. I can count on God, He won't let me down. Always do just what He said. Pain and suffering, He has brought me through. Arms wide open, He always welcome you. I've been blessed in so many ways. I just lift my hands and give Him all the praise. Ooh.
Okay, welcome everyone to JC Radio.
Another blessing.
It's been a while.
Another blessing. Another blessing. I got my legs, y'all, and I can walk. I got my mouth, y'all, and I can talk. Even the air that I receive, I got my lungs.
Okay, today's Saturday, the 1st of April.
This is what I see.
It's been a while.
Blessings, God, that you
I hope you've all been doing great.
my family, they're all doing
I'm back again.
peace and gain
The name is Adjo and we're live on JC Radio.
for that blessing.
Today I have a special guest coming your way.
Another blessing. I'm
But as we always do it, I got some quick motivational messages for you.
reaping y'all in my sick bed.
It's been a blessing to be back here.
You bless me.
Oh, shout out to you, Mama She, all the way in Martin Laxo. Shout out to you, the one and only Mama She.
Just one more day.
Okay, so the motivational message for today, the first one is, when you have a dream, you got to grab it and you got to never let it go.
Keeping me,
I'm sure we all got dreams.
in me,
We all got little things that we dream of.
me. So I think,
Oh, we got Jay Foley in the house already. Okay. And motivational message number 2 for today is, nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I am possible. I am possible. Yes, everything is possible only if you believe. It's Saturday, the 1st of April, and today's April Fool's Day. But we say today is April Motivational Day. There's a track by Reggie Super. Oh, this is the track by episode. Sorry about that. Okay, that's a track by Reggie ZP Adoma. We got Jay Foley. We got Jay Foley in the building today. What? Foley, like I'm telling you. Okay. And motivational message number 3 is there's nothing impossible today who will try. So this means that you got to try everything out. If you have any dreams, you got to try it out and you don't have to give up. So that was motivational message number 3. We got Jay Foley already in the building. Until Jay Foley comes, as a track by Reggie ZP and it says Adoma. It's a beautiful Saturday here in Helsinki or here in Espoo on JC Radio. The name is Adjoa. So in a minute we're gonna have Jay Foley on. So you locked down on JC Radio on the Celebrity Lifestyle Show with your girl Adjoa. And today we got nobody or no other celebrating in the building than Ghana's famous radio and TV personality, Jay Foley. And people call him Hey Jay. If you don't know who Jay Foley is, stay tuned with us and in a few minutes you're gonna know who he is and why he's so important in the Ghana industry. He's been in the industry for so many years and he's played a very big role in the Ghana industry, entertainment industry. I've been missing you. I can never live without you. The night is cold, run up and come in. Okay, welcome Jay. Hello. Hi Jay, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was trying to work out my my sound and my audio, but I think I'll just have to manage like this. If you can hear me as well.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So welcome. Today's the 1st of April, Saturday, and welcome to JC Radio. We're live in the heart of Espoo, Finland. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I was just struggling with my audio here, but I think I'll just manage. Yeah, thank you. I mean, greetings from shall I say Africa, Ghana, West Africa, Accra, from Tema to be precise. Greetings to everyone who's also locked on here now.
Yeah, cool. So, how's your Saturday been like? Today is April Fool's Day. Have you had any pranks already?
Well, no, I haven't fallen for anybody's April Fool yet. I tried to stay alert, so nobody really had me. But earlier this morning.
Yourself? Have you pranked anybody?
Nah, I haven't done that to anyone. No, not. I guess we all grew out of the prank, back in the day when we were kids. But the Saturday has been good.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
We are all being real.
Yeah. We're all being real. Like, why would you want to waste your time, pranking someone in this day and age? Like, we all moved on.
Yeah.
But Saturday has been good, though.
Okay, so I'm sure many people are excited to know who Jay is, and it's such a big opportunity to be interviewing you because you are the pro, the pro in the game. So for me, it's a very big
Oh,
honor to have you on here today. So many people would like to know. We have a lot of people listening on the audio side as well. Many people would like to know. So who is Jay? I mean, most people know you as Hey Jay. If you can tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, so that because we have many international listeners as well, so for the benefit of those who are not from Ghana who might not know you, so they can get to know a little bit more about you. So I
well,
always start the question in
my
your own words. Who's Jay?
okay, so my audio is a bit low, but if you can hear me, if I'm
Oh, we
getting
can
you
hear
right,
you.
a little
We
bit
can hear
about
you
Jay.
loud and clear,
So
so it's fine.
awesome, awesome. So let me describe Jay. I'm a radio and television personality. I've been in the industry in terms of media for the past 23 years. So let's say I started off a bit very early at a very early age. I've had a background, good background education. For those of you who are familiar with Ghana still, I had a background education in Achimota Secondary School where I finished off in KNUST, where I majored in ceramics. It's quite funny why I switched from ceramics to media, right? Yeah, so I've been on a journey of entrepreneurship for the past, say, about 17 years out of the 23-year journey of media. I run a production agency called the Radio Advertising People, where we produce tons and tons of voiceovers. That is radio commercials for a lot of clients, both in Ghana, within the West African sub region, and yeah, that has been my journey all through. Age wise, I'm 39. I turned 40 this year, so I have a big four. I call it 40 with flex. So I'm
Yeah,
excited
40.
that if God, yeah, if God gives me life, I hit 40. So
Oh,
um, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And yeah, so basically defines me. I'm a proud father as well. Wife and kids. So I think those parts of
so
lives
Jay,
have been
Jay, we'll come
achieved.
there. I think you're serving us too much
Well,
on
you
the
did
plate already.
you did ask for me, so I was telling you. Anyway, no problem. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, yeah. So you went to Motown, like you went to Achimota. Shout out to all Motown people in the house. You went to Motown. So growing up, how was it
Hmm.
like? What was your vision like? Right from Motown to what was it? You went to SS again? Oh, you went to Motown SS. Like, yeah. Okay. So right from
Yeah, I mean,
Motown
for
to
me,
Tech.
just like any young boy and girl as well, music has been in the blood for many years. I had general passion in music. I wanted to be a rapper. Yes, I know that sounds crazy, right? Yeah, I wanted to be a rapper, so I always had to bust my verses with my friends, run out of school, go to studios, to go and try and do a couple of demos. But within all that, I was also a visual art student because I love painting. So at that time, I was crazy in love with landscape art. So I love painting a lot. So all through I thought it was either going to be music or turn out to be a professional painter or an artist. Until I got to university where I applied for a course called industrial arts, and I didn't get it, and that's what actually started changing my whole idea and perception about what I wanted to be in future. Because I guess I'd hit that point where the reality of life in terms of the common problems that maybe you want to go and do a certain course in university, you don't get that course. So what are you going to do? You're going to spend the next 4 years of your life trying to figure out a space for yourself. But it's within that um, transformational zone or that 4 year period in university is when I discovered that I could do voiceovers, even though within that time still I was a studio rat. So basically, I was still trying to do my rap game and my music. Not to say I wasn't taking my education serious, I was taking my education pretty serious, but the passion was really burning inside me. So I discovered I had a good voice to do voiceovers, and I had been asking myself how I could transform that into a business. So that was how I transformed myself from interest in music, interest in my painting, into what the school had offered me, which was ceramics that I had to major in. and how I chanced upon my love for voiceovers, and it set me on a certain path that I find myself in today, because it's through the art of doing voiceovers that I find myself, in the brand J that it has become, sitting here talking to you, for example.
Okay, so the spirit of entrepreneurship started right from when you were young in the university. Is that how
Hmm.
the yeah and
Yeah, definitely. It did start right from there. I mean, I'm just grateful to God that I was even able to discover my interest and passion and talent, as a university age. That's about 17, 18, 19, thereabouts. I think I had a fair idea of what I wanted to do.
that's nice. So come to talk about trap. Most people may not know what trap is, but trap is it's trap has contributed a lot to the Ghana industry, entertainment industry. So trap is what is trap? I mean, I know what trap is, but for the
Well,
benefit of people, what trap is
yeah.
though?
I mean, Mercy, you and I go way back, so you do have
Yeah,
major parts of the story, though. But
yes.
for me as an entrepreneur, I always believe that entrepreneurship, even if this is after the age of like 19, 20, I always believe that to be an entrepreneur, or creating a business had to had to be solution driven. A business had to come in to solve a problem. So when I was in my final year, and I had suddenly developed so much love for voiceovers and scripting, radio commercials, and someone who say that when you sit in your car and you listen to music, Jay sits in his car and listens to commercials, radio commercials. I kind of I find this intimate connection between me and radios, like radio jingles. So I finished university. I came to Accra. That's from Kumasi. I came to Accra. I schooled in Kumasi because my school was KNUST was in Kumasi. So when I came back to Accra, I was still trying to figure out exactly how I could turn this voice over passion into a profitable venture for myself. So in my little research, I found out that um, there was a spot or a space for businesses that wanted to create a one-stop shop for clients who wanted to advertise on radio with their products. So I kind of filled in the gap. I converted my studio from making music to a company that was focused on radio commercials, hence the name, the Radio Advertising People, which is an acronym for TRAP, that's TRAP. So nicknamed TRAP Trap, people, sort of found the solution that we had just come to create for a problem, which was if I were a company that I wanted to advertise on radio and I wanted to produce a radio jingle in various Ghanaian languages plus a few foreign languages like Portuguese and French, where do I go to in Ghana? It was a simple question that needed one simple answer, which was go to Trap.
Go to
So
trap.
I set up a business where I created an environment for voice artists, script writers, sound engineers to be able to access my studio, create a business venture out of it, and then we all get paid nicely. So some of these advertising agencies started finding interest in what we're doing, and the fact that, listen, if we receive briefs from companies, there's no point in us sitting down in our offices and cracking our heads over it. Call Jay, call Trap. Trap will do it for you in any language you want it. So hence we're able to create a business out of it. And that's what started me off in my career, as the Jay Foley that we see here.
Okay, so that was a little bit about what trap is.
Hmm.
So from my perspective, trap though it is a very like a big like business. It has contributed a lot in many ways to the Ghanaian industry. I mean, trap is a place where, for me personally, the reason why, if I know anybody in the industry, is been because of trap. Trap is the place that has, for me, I'll say, has connected so many people in the industry with each other. So for me, I've met trap. Trap has been um, more than just a business place. It has been a social place for people in the industry to hang out. And I say this because, I mean, like you said, I have hung out in trap so many times, and I have met almost every personality in the industry. I've met them in trap. Talk about Sarkodie, talk about Chris Hattor, talk about Efia, talk about Lydia Forson, talk about It's I know it's Umpai
Well,
now.
it will
There's
surprise you
Otra.
actually, Chris Atto, whom I saw was a guest on one of your events,
Yes.
was one of the leading persons who gave me business with regards to voiceovers in trap. So at that time, Chris Atto
Shout
had a
out to you,
show on
Chris.
a yeah, Chris had a show in Ghana called Rhythms, and he needed a jingle for Rhythms, for the station GH1 at that time. So Trap produced it, and I was happy because that's how we lift others by giving people
Yes.
opportunity to be able to harness their talents
Okay.
and their talents speak for themselves and create brands out of them. So shout out to Chris Atto as well.
Shout out to you, Chris. I know he'll be watching because I sent him the flyer yesterday, and he acknowledged it back. So I know he'll be watching, even if he's not watching live now. Shout out to you, Chris. So, like I was saying, so many all the people in the industry have basically one way or the other like benefited from trap, and most people have networked there. And for you, I like for you it was a business place. It was a place where you were doing your business, but it was also a place where people would come and feel like whenever I came to Ghana, if not for trap, I don't know, I wouldn't have survived because when I woke up in the morning, I would just come and because I know it's I don't know. For you it was a business place, but you had the heart to be accommodating people there. People would just get up from their houses, come and sit at trap, probably not coming to record anything. So for you, how did you have the heart to accommodate everybody that came in and out? And I think this strengthened or built a lot more relationships because like I said, me personally, if I know anybody in the industry, 90% of them will be from trap. Yeah. And also
Yeah,
because
I
I
mean,
hung
I,
out
I
with
think
Jeremy at the time.
for me, it was about finding a way to create a social networking center that
Yes.
gave people one room to meet people, which was always had been my one of my personal goals that I always like to create networking opportunities for friends. And number two, also create an environment where business wasn't the everyday kind of business where it had to be so serious with suit and tie, but give a place where people can come actually relax. Because I do believe that when you give the brain less pressure, less stress, it's able to give you 100% capacity. So it was that environment, creating that friends network zone where you come around, people just make a stop by because they are in town, they want to pass by trap and hang out. And
Exactly.
it just sort of empowered all of us because every day you going to work, you just didn't know who was going to bust in at the office,
Yes.
and hang out. So for me, it was, yes, it was business for me, 100%. Two, it was also creating opportunity for people to network. And three, it was for people to have a leisure hangout where it wouldn't distract work, but at the same time, be able to give a sense of, hey, let's build together because, you may never know where the next big idea is going to come from or from who. So Trap was the place. And I'm grateful to see that, you had a great time. You made good friends. And here you are. Look at us having a conversation
Yes,
all through,
exactly.
yes, networking, and I'm
Exactly.
grateful for that.
It's been how many years is your establishment now? How many years has it been?
So I basically established this in 2007. So we've been rolling on there for about 16 years
16
plus.
years.
Yeah.
Wow. So moving from trap, you did I don't know if you still do, but you did have a movement called 2131. Is it still
Yeah.
functioning?
So
Can you tell us a
again,
little bit about 2131?
yeah, yeah, again, so with Jay Foley's interest in creating a networking opportunity, and I felt like I was very young, right from university when I finished uni in about 19 years, age 19. I always wanted to find a way of, uh, so I say that it's not about who you know, it's who knows you. It makes it
I
easier
like that.
when
It's not about
someone
who you
knows
know,
you.
it's who knows you.
Yes, it's easier for you to create a better connection when you're trying to get something done and someone knows you at the place where you're trying to get it done. So it was the breadth of having to connect young people with who are like-minded, who have that entrepreneurial drive, who have that entrepreneurial spirit, who have that passion to be successful. We didn't want to waste our lives within that age bracket of 21 and 31, because you come out of school, if you don't take care, which is very evident in a lot of youth across the world. People finish school and they're just hanging about and not knowing what to do. A lot of state of confusion, plenty try and errors. There are no mentors, there are no guidelines, there are no rules to the game. So what happens is that if you don't take care in that 10-year gap of 21 to 31, you just realize that life will just run you by, and you may not even know how it happened. So we wanted to put ourselves in a group where we'd have a certain focus and direction. Hence the birth of 2131. It was just a numbers game for people between the ages of 21 and 31. What we did was phenomenal, because we managed to establish 2131 groups in so many tertiary institutions across the country. I think you're about 47 schools. Even though on the front we looked like a fun group where we threw a lot of parties, and we had some what do you call them, some conferences on various topics and subjects. It was a way of unifying ourselves, using the very things that excite we the young people. But once we were brought together and we had our attention, then we can use that to promote and the agenda of setting a certain focus for ourselves, and it was good. But I guess with time, me myself, I grew out of 2131 brackets, and I was never able to hand it down to people to continue. But the legacy still lives on, and I do see people who are products of 2131's movement that are in places today that always say, Jay, you know what, it was good the networking happened, because I go to places and I find other 2131 members, in places, and it's easy for me to connect with them because we knew ourselves. You feel me?
Nice. So that was a good one. That was a good motivational, history for the young people who are watching us or who will be watching us. So Jay, I'm gonna move on to the next big question that a lot of people would want to know. A lot of people know you, or know your face also from Foresight TV. I think that was one of the platforms also that brought you out in terms of being on TV. And so, can you let us in a little bit about Foresight and how you became the face of Foresight, and how Foresight at the time, how it led to your success, or it's led to your success in the industry today?
So again, it was through Trap again. So this is the early days of 2007. I finished KNUST in 2006. The early days of 2007, where I'm back home trying to figure myself out. Trap had become a household name again in less than a year for a lot of people coming in to do their recordings. And here I was, friends with one of the most amazing television personalities of our time, Jeremy, who was my co-presenter on Foresight later on. And Jeremy was very good friends with Wolf. And Wolf was one of the presenters on Foresight TV. He was my predecessor. And they call him Wolf, had a name. So Wolf used to come to the studio to come and hang out at Trap, all the time. And surprisingly, that's how I got to know the Foresight crew. So I used to hang out with Wolf because you come and do voiceovers for Foresight at Trap. And through that, I got to know, like I said, the whole Foresight crew, the CEO, the marketing manager, the production crew. I got to know all of them. And Wolf had an opportunity. Yes, Ignis. Shouts going out to Ignis. So Wolf had the opportunity to move on to TV3 to host a show at TV3. So there was a gap at Foresight TV. And the then marketing manager for Foresight called me and said, hey, Jay, you know what? There's a slot here for you if you want to come and try to do Foresight. I was like, me come and host Foresight TV? This is the biggest entertainment show you're talking on in Ghana TV.
It really was.
Yeah, how am I supposed to fill that shoes? I had no TV background. I had no, communication skills. I was shy. I was timid. But I was like, well, so I went into Foresight to do voiceovers for Foresight TV, not even to do TV. So my first shoot was a voiceover, where we just did voiceover narrations for pictures overlays. But afterwards, CEO was like, nah, you know what? Let's put you on the screen. So the following week, I was put on the screen. It was crazy. I goofed big time, big time. I goofed. But I think he saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself by giving me the opportunity to try again.
Yeah.
And I did
Yeah.
it. And that was it. So in 2000 and late 2007, I started doing Foresight TV. And Jeremy joined me 6 months later. Yeah, 6 to 8 months later, she joined me. And the next thing I knew, I was in Foresight TV for the next nine, almost 10 years.
And I think you and Jeremy have been undoubtedly the best pair for entertainment in the Ghanaian industry. I mean, even till today, I see the comments, and I mean, everybody says it. I mean, you guys really did an amazing
It's an
job
honor.
with Foresight, and I think a lot of young people or people even till today really appreciate that, and they do miss that. They do miss that. The way you guys worked together at the time with
Yeah.
Foresight TV, and I think you later went on to work together again in on Live FM also. Was it Live FM?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that. Later on, did what?
Later on you guys moved to Live FM to you worked together again on a show, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Jeremy and I working together at Foresight TV was just a perfect combination, if you ask me, because we had a good relationship. I think we understood the kind of level that we had similar ideologies,
Yes.
principles, and philosophies of life. So it was a good connection for the two of us, and we sort of exhibited that strongly on the platform. Of course, with Ignis's direction and the Foresight TV CEO's direction, we're able to create magic on there. And it was beautiful. For the next 9 years of our lives, we're on there, and we
And
saw the
YFM,
impact that
why
we
and
we,
you
we
were
actually
on
made on people.
YFM.
Because till today, yeah, I see when we put up pictures and comments about then Foresight TV. It's crazy. People really can vibe to it. And yes, we later moved on to work at Live FM. We were honor presenters for the morning show, the Live Breakfast Club, for a bit. And it was we did our thing. We did our thing. So we all went separate ways.
Before Live FM, I think you guys took over with YFM, which has also been a very big sensation when it comes to radio in Ghana, especially to do with the young people. Um,
Yeah,
I think you guys contributed also a lot to YFM at the time, and
yeah. So again,
how was the whole YFM thing combined with Foresight TV, and how were you taking the fame? I mean, all of a sudden you were living your normal life as a young guy in tech. You have your own business, and now you have to deal with because you guys were like you were appealing to the young people. So I mean, most everybody knew you guys. I mean, anybody who was young at the time knew you guys. So how were you dealing with the whole fame thing as well?
I mean, YFM became the top most listened to English youth radio station in Accra, from 2009, um, all the way to 2013, 14. I mean, that was when I was really there. Um, I mean, again, me getting on YFM was partly through Foresight and through Trap, because when YFM was setting up, what people don't know is when YFM was setting up in Ghana for the first time, they needed jingles and station IDs. So they came to me and I produced all the station IDs for YFM at that time. For those who are listening to YFM, there were some famous jingles that went like YFM, official frequency for the young and the young at heart, and all those things. I mean, it was me and Jeremy doing those jingles actually. So we produced loads of jingles for them. And through that, the station manager, Nana Kwame Osei Sapong, aka Nokus, gave me an opportunity to come and do a show on YFM again. So I was on there for 2.5 years on YFM, just not as an official presenter, but later on, after 2012, I was given a full-time opportunity to become a presenter on YFM. And I came in and I became the programs manager for YFM at that time. And then I think 6 months or 7 months later, I was made the general manager of YFM. So
Oh
I
wow.
think I rose through the ranks, based on experience, based on knowledge, creativity, until 2015 when I left YFM and I went to Live FM. And Jeremy had left YFM 2 years before, and she was working with the old Live FM until it was purchased under a new company, a new multimedia group, EIB. And
Yeah,
she was pulled in, and then that's how come we met again there working on Live FM. So our contribution on YFM was immense. I can feel it. I know it. And I'm glad that we paid our dues. We did what we're supposed to do and impacted the new generation of YFM OAPs or honor presenters who are there now. And I'm excited about it.
Nice, nice. That's a great motivation for the young people out there. Um, Before we move into other things, let's have a quick musical break for a few seconds, and I'll be back with you. There's the old Ghanaian track. That's a track we used to rock to back in the days when I was in high school. If you just joined in, you're live on JC Radio, live in the heart of Espoo, Finland. And my name is Adjoa. Today is the 1st of April 2023. And you're locked down on the Celebrity Lifestyle Show. Are we rocking your Saturday evening? Live in the house, we have Ghanaian celebrity Jay Foley. He's known as Hey Jay. He's a Ghanaian radio and TV personality on live with us now. If you have any comments or shout outs, keep them coming on Facebook and I'll read them out to you. Shout out to you, Atta Benes, all the way in Kivisto. It's a beautiful Saturday. And I know you're having a beautiful day with your family and kids. Zayel, Andrea, and 2 babies. Shout out to you, Dr. Eric Kissy. Shout out to you, Dr. Kofi Brobe. Shout out to you, Eunice Opoku, watching all the way in Denmark. And we have Samuel Ochri Abeye Boachi. Oh, shout out to you, Sami, all the way in Oulu. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the listeners listening live on JC Radio on the audio side, and shout out to you if you're watching us on Facebook. Shout out to you, Cynthia, and shout out to you, Nanaya, all the way in Kanamaki. You're live on JC Radio, and my name is Adjoa. It's a beautiful Saturday evening. Today we're live with Jay Foley. I call him Hey Jay. Okay, Jay, we're back. And we have Kofi Seyuram in the building, and he says Jeremy and Jay were just fantastic those days at YFM. So that was from a guy called Kofi Seyuram. So Jay, that was feedback for you. This guy that says Jeremy and Jay were fantastic those days at YFM.
Thank you.
So shout out to you, Kofi Seyuram. I don't know where you're watching us from. Okay, so Jay, let's move on. I know a few years back. I mean, I think it's been many years now. You were at the BET. You represented Ghana at the BET. Can you tell us about that whole experience, being a presenter at the BET, and how was the whole experience like?
So it's very interesting. It's a story of hard work meeting luck, if I can say. So in 2012, I was selected as part I was selected by MultiChoice Ghana Limited to be in Germany for the European Music Awards. So I flew to Germany for the awards, and it was a three day package. It was really exciting. I had a good time there, and it was at a dinner that I was sitting with the some of the the big shot callers from Viacom network. Viacom
Mm.
owns all these Nickelodeon, BET, MTV, and all that. So
Yeah.
we're at a dinner, and during the dinner, I got up to go set my camera and my microphone and my lapel, everything, and
Mm.
I went to talk to the secretary of the president of Viacom at that time. I
Mm.
went to whisper into her ears that I wanted to interview the boss, if possible, because I,
And
I
this
was
was in
flying out of the
was this in
country.
Germany? This was in
Yeah,
Germany.
this was in Germany,
Ah, nice.
in
Mm.
Frankfurt. So I was flying out of the country the following morning. So I wanted to do
Mm.
the interview before I left. So the secretary went to tell the assistant went to tell the boss, and the man was like, "Okay, this is interesting." Because we're all eating, and I just decided to do the interview at that time. Okay, so I did the interview in 2012.
Mm.
A year later, 1 year later, interesting. I'm there and I get a call. I get a call from somebody. It was a number calling me from France. So I picked the call, and the lady was like, "Hi, Jay," and she mentioned her name. Do you remember me? I couldn't remember. He says, "Last year, Frankfurt, Germany." I was, "Oh yeah, yeah." So I called her out. I was like, "Yeah." So we had a good chat, and she was like, "Well, guess what? My boss says that we should find you
Wow.
and bring you on an
Wow.
all expense paid trip to the BET. Would you want to come?"
Was that in LA? Where was the BET held?
Yeah, the BET was
It
in
was in
LA.
Los Angeles. Mm.
Yeah. I was like, what a question. Who would turn down such an offer? She said, "Yeah, well, I got in touch with you again through MultiChoice, and we want you to come for the BET Awards." So I was flown to the BET Awards on an all expense paid trip. And it was not just a simple trip. It was this was funded by Viacom Network themselves or BET themselves. So it was full access to everything. You understand?
Wow.
Best hotel, all the interviews you wanted to do with the top shot callers, they were there. I think I sat on the fourth row front seat, and all those seats are reserved for their top celebrities because of camera
Yes.
camera
Yeah.
for television.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a chance to be in there. I mean, for me, it was an honor. It was a humbling experience for me. But that was in 2013. I came back to Ghana, becoming the first journalist to have the chance at that time because artists had gone. Deep Black had been there, Kojo had been there,
Wow.
Starkody had been there, and then that year Stoneboy was going to be there as well. Funny
Mm.
enough, yesterday I put up a photo of me, Sarkodie, and Stoneboy at the BET at that first time. It was just a
Oh.
nostalgic feeling for us. And
Oh, I can imagine.
the following year, I went again, and I think 2 years after that, I was funded by EIB through Bolloré, shouts to Bolloré, to go again for the BET Awards. So I had a 3 year consecutive experience
At the
going to the
BET.
award. But trust me, man, Los Angeles is far away. I'm tired. I hung my boots.
So that was it about you going to the BET. I mean, talking about this, it brings me back to the power of networking. I always say your network is your net worth. So I've had a similar opportunity to be at a big event in Los Angeles. I mean, I've had the opportunity to be
Hmm.
in the US once, and that was in LA, and it was a Hollywood powered event that I was at, and there were people like Michelle Williams, there was Estelle, there was Bozoma St. John, and that's where I met Denta. Shout out to you, Denta. That's the first time
Ah,
I met
yeah,
Denta, a very
great
lovely
woman.
lady. Yeah, a great woman. There was Boris Kujo's wife. I've forgotten her
Hmm.
name. Nicole Parker. I think that's her name.
Yeah,
There
I
was
can't
there
remember the
was
name though, but yeah, I
yeah,
think.
Nicole Parker. That's her name. There was Martin Rollins, the guy who owns Black Star something. There was
Yeah.
there were many people in the industry at the event, but there was Cheryl Lee Ralph. She was there. That was the first time I met her in LA at the
Everyone comes
event.
to the BET Awards. I mean, Los Angeles is a star-studded place.
Oh, this was not the BET. This was an event.
Yeah,
It was called
yeah. I'm just saying.
yeah, it was called International. Yeah, it was an event in LA. So that was Shirley Ralph was there, and 2 days ago, Dental posted a picture of her and Shirley Ralph, and I commented this is love brewed in LA, and I think most people didn't understand that comment because I saw how the whole network of Denta and Cheryl happened 5 years ago, and I think people will be thinking, oh, they have a picture together because now Cheryl is in Ghana, but it started 5 years ago. And I remember Denta had this lovely necklace, and she really loved it, and Denta handed it over there to
Yeah.
her. And I remember I took a picture of them at the time. So when I saw the picture of both of them in Ghana now, it took me back to LA, and I'm like, look, this is the power of networking. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's the power of networking, you know. So I would say that networking is very important for me for one or two personal reasons. Though I love to network, I mean, I wasn't able to at the time, and I always say that was one of my biggest regrets. I mean, it says opportunity comes at once. When you have the opportunity, you grab it and you never let it go. I think that was one of my biggest regrets. But like I would say, networking is very important to everybody. Whenever you find the opportunity to network, just grab it, and then I mean, whatever you can do with it, I mean, just go forward for it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Jay, let's move on to the Ghana industry. You've been in the industry for so long. You know what's going on in the industry. What do you think we can do to put our music out there more? I mean, what do you think about Ghana music industry? I mean, I know this is a topic that most people don't really want to touch on because it's quite very sensitive. You do have people like Shatawale advocating all the time, and I mean, there are many times where I always say, I've said this on this platform before. I've traveled across many airports where I have heard music. I think with my interview with Episode, I think I mentioned this. I've always heard music from Nigerians. Like, I think the last time I was in Denmark at the Copenhagen airport, Burna Boy's music was playing. I mean, the Nigerians have really done well. They've put their music out there. You hear Nigerian music everywhere, but I hardly hear Ghanaian music, like, you know, at places where I think a few days ago I was in a shop and they were playing some Nigerian music. So their music has traveled far, whether it's Finland, whether it's Denmark, whether it's America. So what do you think we can do as well in the industry, I mean the Ghanaian industry, to also put our music out there? Because I think we are lacking, personally, if you ask me, I think we're really lacking behind. Because, I mean, our music, I mean, you have some people in the industry who've gotten their music across. Like if you talk about Kevin Boys, Down Flat, if you talk about Kiddies Touch Me, and you talk about Camido, and yeah, but I think still it's not enough, honestly. So for me personally, so what do you think we can do, or Ghanaian music industry or the entertainment industry can do to get the music out there? Just like the Nigerians are doing. What are they doing that we're not doing right? Can we like, I mean,
Well, this has been a debate for, this has been a conversation and a debate for many years. And I keep saying that what the problem is no longer what we are talking about. We've moved away from what the problem is to now talking about the ripple effects of the problem. So let's go to the problem. The problem is not about why our songs are not being played. The problem itself is, do we as Ghanaians have a music identity? That is the problem. So the only way our songs will be played, which is just a ripple effect of the fact that we don't know who we are. So exactly, if you walk into a place with no identity and nobody knows, if I put a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola bottle and I rip off the label, and it has no ID, and I put it in a crate of other black colored drinks, how would they know it's Coke or Pepsi? That is the first thing. How do we know that this is Ghanaian music? Forget Afrobeats. Afrobeats is like a big label that is giving Africa a chance to be seen, like a big banner. But on that banner, everybody is trying to paint a certain picture of Afrobeats for themselves. So Nigeria has painted it because they have a music identity. So the Afrobeats that I keep saying that you are hearing now, which has gone global, is the Nigerian version, which includes rhythm and language. So when you hear Nigerians, even a Nigerian will say, instead of saying turn up, will say turn up in a song. People have gravitated towards accepting the language and they love it, to the extent that people speak the Nigerian pidgin and people love it. the rhythm of Nigerian music has been fused so well into modern day music, modern day African music is what we call Afrobeats. But the question is, what is Ghana's version of Afrobeat? We're never able to um, print out our high life music so well when we had the chance. We're never able to print out our zonto when we had the chance. We're never able to print out our hip life when we had the chance. We're never able to print out our GH rap when we had the chance. We let them go. So we currently have no identity but to gravitate towards what Nigeria's version of Afrobeat or world music is. And you can't do music better. You can't do the Nigerian Afrobeat better than the Nigerian. You can't. It's impossible because you have to be Nigerian to be able to speak, talk, think, act like them. We are Ghanaians, and we don't have any music identity. We could have made high life music a huge identity for ourselves, but what did we do to it?
That's what I was about to talk about because we had
We gave high life. We said high life was for the old folks. So anybody who sang high life was an old person who wore big trousers with afro hair, and that we give it a certain bad identity that the generation of today couldn't even connect with high life music any longer. So we cut it off. But do you know the impact of high life music across the world? Huge. We didn't run with it.
Yeah.
So we could have had an Afrobeat version that was a high life infusion, which a lot of Ghanaians naturally can be able to gel, think with, because it's ours. So just imagine if we had 31 million people, and this is part one, 31 million people promoting high life music, which was our Afrobeat version in Ghana. You'd have a lot of artists be able to produce that kind of music because it's ours and promote it. Number two, the people in the diaspora, which form a key part of music blow up or expansion. What are people? Nigerians outside Nigeria are consuming Nigerian music. Ghanaians outside Ghana are not consuming only Ghanaian music. They're consuming everything. So it is very difficult for a Ghanaian artist to get a slot in the airplay, the streaming of a Ghanaian person in diaspora because he or she out there is exposed to so much. You understand? So if we are able to create an ID for ourselves, to create good quality sound of our rhythms for people in Ghana and in the diaspora to be able to gel with it and hold on to it, trust me. Why is it that till today, when we play songs from Papa Yankson, Amachi Dede and Co., youth of today are still jamming to it? Because there's a certain rhythm in there that is not Nigerian, that is not Kenyan, that is not South African, that is not European, it's Ghanaian. So when we hear it, we love it. But a lot of the songs we hear from our artists today, they are trying to sound like the Nigerian Afrobeat. But how can you be a Nigerian Afrobeat artist or sound Nigerian Afrobeat artist if you're not one of them?
Yeah,
they will love their people first.
Yeah.
But the question is, do we love our people first?
Yeah. So you think that if we want to go out there, we should concentrate on our high life because that's our identity. Because talk about high life, you had big bands like the OCBSS, who were doing good. I mean, they were big
Mercy.
Back in the days.
So I'll tell you. Sorry to cut you. I'll tell you. Across the world right now, do you know that Ghanaian bands are the most popular bands around the world, even from Africa? Sun Trophy Band, I forgot to name them. Plenty. It's Ghanaian band. What are they playing? They're not playing high life. They're not playing Afrobeat music out there. They're playing Ghanaian music.
Yeah, they are.
So we don't have an identity.
Talk about that. I said this last time, and I'll say it again. Last summer I was at this big festival called the Pori Jazz Festival. It's a big festival here in Finland, and I was surprised to see there were artists like John Legend and other big artists. But I saw two Ghanaian bands. I've forgotten their names, but they are not any bands that we know of. Like, they're not popular. That's why I can't even remember their names. But these were people playing authentic Ghanaian music, and they were on such a big platform. You see, so I do buy into what you mean by focusing on our high life, which is our identity, would go a long way to put our music out there. And talking about this, shout out to people like Episode, who is being very. I mean, Episode has been known to be a reggae dancehall artist, and now we see Episode as trying to be very versatile. When he was on the show here, and he was telling us about it as well. Now he has this Atia track, which I think our producer will be playing for us soon, which he's done so many renditions of it, and it is a high life track which everybody has bought into. So it boils down to the fact that identity, and now maybe our Ghanaian artists are realizing that, and I think it's a very good initiative on the part of Episode to dive into High Life, though he's known as a reggae dancehall artist. So I think if all the other artists are coming, I mean,
Look,
it's never.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this real quickly. December in Ghana, and this was something I'm picking off my very good friend Cyril. He said something really deep. December in Ghana has become one of the most biggest event seasons in the calendar in Africa.
Yeah.
Great. Now, you know what happens in December in Ghana? We amplify, aside from all the excitement going on with the people coming in, thronging into Ghana, huge numbers, all of the things that happen are actually music events. The biggest things happening in December are all music, from nightclubs to nightlife to the concerts. It's music events. Afrochella, Afrofusion, Afro Nation, and all them concerts. Now, all these platforms are amplifying foreign content. Okay? So what happens is that people from America, people from Germany, from Finland will fly to Ghana to come and hear Asake, to come and see Tiwa Savage, to come and jam with Burna Boy. Okay? And when they finish and they go back to their countries, guess what they are listening to for the next 11 months? They're not listening to Ghanaian artists.
No.
They're listening to foreign artists. So if we don't even take time in shaping our December activations to turn it into business where policies are drawn around how we communicate our culture to people when they arrive right from Kotoka Airport to all the places they go. And I'm saying policies like changing policies on music airplay on radio stations, you understand? Promoting it a bit more of our culture so that people come to Ghana and take away Ghana. They don't take away, I came to Ghana to see Burna Boy perform. And not to say that I don't want Burna to perform in Ghana. No.
Yeah.
The highlight should be on Episode. The argument is that, will Episode give you the numbers you want with your gate proceeds? Listen, when we had GBC, and GBC was showing Thursday theater, and that was all we had. That was all we knew. So we took it. The human brain would only take what you present to it. When you fix us in borders and you create correct pathways for us, we will all align to it. But when you allow too many foreign, it's like you open your borders to too many foreign goods to be imported in there. Your exports will be small. You understand? It's business. Your exports will be small. So you always keep importing. So we've imported so much content that even our TV stations are playing foreign telenovelas. What happened to creating opportunities for our local ones? They'll say quality. They'll say it's not nice. But if you give opportunity, somebody gave Jay Full an opportunity.
Yeah.
Someone gave me a chance. The secretary for the president of Viacom gave me a chance to interview his boss. And guess what? They got me at the BET. We have to be able to put Ghanaian content first and find good quality Ghanaian content to put out on our platforms and project us so that we'll be able to let the 2-year-old kid who's born 2 years ago now to be able to grow to become 19 years and only feed heavily on Ghanaian content. Prioritize Ghanaian content, at the same time open up to a global village because the world is out there, yes. But we have to put our shit first, pardon me, but we have to put our stuff first. We have to create an ID for ourselves.
Yeah.
You are Ajwa. Your name was given to you at birth, not halfway down the line, at birth.
These days,
what are we doing trying to...
These days, I tell people, these days, I don't introduce myself as Mercy. I say I'm Ajwa, and I tell people, please call me. I have this. Shout out to you, Benes. Shout out to you, Atta. I always say she says anytime she calls me or I call her, she'll be like Mercy. I'll be like, I've told you to stop calling me Mercy, and then she'll be like Ajwa Mercy. I said no, call me Ajwa. So you see, we are buying into our own identity, and for me, I think it's very beautiful that way. For my daughter as well, most people know her by her Ghanaian name. So when people hear her foreign name, they get surprised. They're like, "Who is that?" Like they don't even know the other name because she uses that in school. So like you said, identity is very important. So I think you're on the we should embrace our identity, like you're saying. So this is a track by episode. And we'll be wrapping up soon with Jay Foley, but let's listen to this beautiful track by episode. And there's a high life track, and that's the one with Mr. Drew, and it's called Atiadenko. Shout out to all the listeners out there. Shout out to you again, Sheila Edu called Mama She. Shout out to you, Samuel Ochre Abiy Boachi all the way in Olu. Shout out to you, Kofi Seyoram. Shout out to you, Eunice Opoku, watching all the way in Denmark, Copenhagen. It's a beautiful Saturday out here, the 1st of April. I hope you didn't prank anybody. I mean, I woke up last night and I was like, hey, let me check on people that I haven't really like heard from in a while. So I started sending like I miss you messages and happy new month to people that I haven't seen in a while, or people that were in my mind. And I actually got in touch with some childhood friends whom I really, really missed. And this morning I continued sending happy new month messages around. So please don't go pranking people today. Get in touch with people that you haven't heard from in a long time. Make their day. And let's make the world a better place. As a track by episode titled Atiadenko. Don't go anywhere, we're still live with Jay Foley, and my name is Ajwa. If you have any shout outs, please keep them coming on Facebook and I'll do them for you. I'll do justice, I'll read them out. Or if you have any questions for Jay Foley, I'll read them out as well.
JC Radio.
Okay, Jay, welcome once again. So before we wrap up, I want to ask this question. What do you think about what contribution is our entertainment industry making on the young people, the impact? So let's talk about all this. I mean, like you said, in December, there's so many events going on around. The young people, is it doing more harm than good? Because we know most young people, like especially from abroad, December is like a big thing. You know, everybody wants to go home to chill. People meet people while on the trip. I mean, and there's though there's a lot of good going on, there's also a lot of bad going on. Like, you know, in many different ways. I mean, people fall in love, people get brokenhearted, people I don't know. There's so many things that goes on in Ghana in terms of entertainment and all that. And as we're going into the Easter festivities that are coming soon, what do you think about how do we? You know, I watched the video on Facebook yesterday, and interestingly, this was the club, and then they were playing a gospel music there. And the girl who did the video was like, they were like, it was two girls, and they were surprised, like they were, I don't know if, and then it got me thinking. So the whole ideology about entertainment, they were very like surprised, like why are they playing this in the club? So like, I know back from where we're coming from Ghana, from Africa, the whole notion of our entertainment is like, it's not like Ghana is a Christian country. So I'm saying this because like most people have the notion, oh, she went to the club, oh, she's listening to secular music, oh, she's going to that program, oh, she must not be godly, he must not be godly. What's your idea and what's your ideology about it? Do you think that because it's a club where they're playing like Deep Black, or they're playing, let's say, Episodes music, or let's say they're playing Reggie ZP, it means that there shouldn't be any other song that can glorify our maker or anything? Or what's your whole ideology about this? Because I mean, back in the days, I would come to Ghana and I would go to events like Aphrodisiac. I would go Jeremy everywhere, and for me that was okay. But on the other hand, I was also a pastor's daughter, so I remember there was one time there was an event at the Dome where I had the opportunity. I think it was Bow Wow, I can't tell, and it was in the night. So while I was going, I think I met this priest who was a reverend minister as well, and he met me and he was like, "Where are you going at this time of the night?" And I basically had to lie. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going for a concert, but I had to be like, "Oh, I have to." At the time, I had been on Pravda Radio. I think I had the opportunity to do brunch for a few months before I came back to Denmark. So I had to lie that, oh, I had to go to the studio and blah, blah, blah. And then he made me go. I couldn't say I was going for an event, So what do you think about this whole ideology of, if you're into entertainment, it means you're ungodly, like, or you're not Christ-like, or like, what do you? Because for me, it gets quite confusing. Because I grew up in a way where my dad was a priest, but we didn't have this kind of restriction, like, don't play this music, don't do that. My dad didn't do that. So for me, it's quite confusing for me sometimes.
You see, it's not the fault of a strong Christian to have a certain reserved opinion about the people who find themselves in entertainment show business, because of course the lifestyles that we put out there on social media, on TV, or we create, the perception we create for ourselves is a lot, quote unquote, to the average Christian is a bit ungodly. In music videos, people are showing off a lot of profanity in our language. We use cuss words. It's so all those things rub off us and makes all of us, or most of us in the system, look like we are just a bunch of sinners. Of course, everybody's a sinner though, but it looks like ours is projected out there more because our show business lifestyle puts that out there constantly. Hardly do we talk about. So if the gospel artist will put out, will sing a song and show so much faith and wave their hands, a rapper will go on there with sag jeans, showing boxers, or a girl will be wearing some crazy thongs and doing all that on the stage. So it's what we project makes us look bad. I can say that. So it's easy for anyone to just, easily go like, your lifestyle in entertainment isn't the best, and it'll cut across all of us. So somebody will see you and me and go like, even though we don't do that, we'll easily say that we find ourselves in that space. So by all means, we are also from them, or we are like them. So it's not their fault. It's what we have done, what we have projected it as, as that. And this is a global projection. It's not just Jay Foley or Adjoa. It's Jay-Z. It's Alicia Keys. It's Lil Wayne. It's Beyonce. It's Cardi B. It's everyone. So it's global. It's what we have made it as such. But yes, we are all sinners in the eyes of the Lord, because no one is perfect. So before anybody would judge me, he or she should judge himself first.
Yeah. So the Bible says, move the speck in your own eye first. So I agree with you fully. But don't you think the impact of foreign music has had a very big impact on where we find ourselves today, whereby the whole entertainment scene and industry has been separated from the Ghanaian religious lifestyle? Because I'm saying this because back in the days, like you said, we have music from artists like Snoop Dogg and other artists where you have half-naked women and all that, and this was something that back in the days, it wasn't like today where you have the internet, where you have so much information and all that. So we were being or our artists or people in the industry were being fed with what to look up to. So music videos that were done, they would look up to that. Okay, they're good half naked girls, so we should use half naked girls as such. So for me, I think that we've been here where we are, where we've not kept our identity and all that, because back in the days, maybe the gamashis would wear the kente and all that and be shaking. They will be shaking as well. They will be twerking as well. But then they're not twerking half naked, right? So
in the name of culture, isn't it?
In the name of culture. So it boils back to identity, like you just said. But these days, what our artists are doing, same like, okay, the Americans did that and they're hitting their, like, you know, they're the Jay-Z, so we should also have half naked like women. And sometimes I feel like, you know, sometimes you could be like, I visited a friend the other day, and we were watching a music video, and then I had my child and their kids in the room, and now we had to turn it off because now all of a sudden there were half naked women who were twerking, and you know, we don't want your little kids to be looking at this all the time. Even though we were enjoying the music was good, the kids could listen to it, but then the visuals were not something that you want to be showing your kids, you know. So
yes.
Don't you think
Everybody
all wrong?
Yeah, everybody goes naked in various cultures, but the nakedness is projected in certain ways that has meaning, and it is the meaning that is the problem. So maybe how an African culture will project nakedness is not how a certain Western culture will project nakedness, and what the mind perceives is what it believes. So we will definitely have cross cultures fighting itself day in, day out, and it's up to you to protect your generations to come on what is right and what is wrong. You know, tell them what is right and what is wrong, so that when they grow up, they can be able to make that distinctive decision as to where they want to lean towards the nakedness of your culture, which has a certain different meaning, or the nakedness of a certain foreign culture, which also has a very different meaning.
Yeah, so that boils down back to the industry sticking to identity and our culture. Jay, is there anything you would like to know about we in the diaspora? I mean, I think I'm going to give you like a minute or so to also put out some questions out there, since you are the king of hosting. Is there anything you would like to know about, or what do you think the people in the diaspora could do to, I mean, also help in like making our industry a better one, like?
Naturally, Ghanaians like to seek validation from external entities, people. So, example, we would always chase up with what is outside. We see what is outside as better. It's a perception that we first have to rub off our minds. But we see what is outside there as better than what we have inside. In most cases, yes, it is. So, what the diaspora can do for us is to be able to validate things for us. So, when you have songs from Ghana or products from Ghana released, it amplifies better when the diaspora talks about it a bit more, consumes it a bit more, projects it a bit more, so people here would see that, wow, I'm actually sitting in Ghana ignoring shea butter, but shea butter is a big deal in Europe.
Yeah.
Because we see validation from outside. So if we can see how shea butter is a big commodity out there, and cocoa is a big commodity out there for people to use because it's from Ghana, is seen to be the best, then how about our music? Let's get a diaspora to be able to consume more of our music, to validate more of our music, to stamp on our music and say this is better than what you're hearing, even though maybe it might not be. But when you drum that consistently, the people here who are aspiring to be where you are would understand that you, even who's out there, who has got opportunity to select the best of the best of the best, is sticking to what you have produced from home. And the people from Ghana or people who are home here would definitely follow a certain path. So let's have more consumption of Ghanaian products for people in the diaspora, intentional. Let's be intentional about it. Even though, yes, I know somebody might say, yeah, but it's crap, it's not good, it's compared, but we can only build on what we have if we believe in it. Nothing new. Give things time to grow. If we give it time, if we believe in it, if we work hard at it, if we correct our wrongs, dot our I's and cross our T's, we keep doing that intentionally. At a point in time, we're going to reach a certain level and era where our things will become premium all guided by the diaspora because you are out there and you are seeing premium over premium over premium. So let's encourage and speak well of the things we have in Ghana. And I do believe that in a few years to come, the diaspora's continuous effort in trying to shape what is in here will definitely be seen better.
As a track by D Black. So I have my last question, and we will have to leave Jay Foley here because we've taken his time for a while now. Jay, before I let you go, I like to say this. Most people have the perception, or I don't know if it's the reality. Why is it that people in the industry find it so difficult to find love? I mean, I know you are an exception because you're a married man, but most people in the industry have it so like they don't have, or most of our ladies in the industry have a hard time finding love. And why do you think it's so?
I mean, like I'm saying, show business projects all the glamorous fun side of life that can become also very poisonous to your brand if you don't take time. Because I mean, unfortunately, just imagine how women are already projected in show business all the time. In videos, they are the lesser of the brands that are given attention in the right way. Women are hired to come and show their bodies, not to come and show impact, in there. So all these things again would communicate wrongly to men in the eyes of men that will see women in show business as not serious, will look flirty, will look dirty, will look naughty. And you see, all these things have, like I keep saying, ripple effects. And the ripple effect is what the good ones in the industry face, where the bad cap keeps rubbing off them. And then men and other people alike see them as, you know what, I don't want to roll with an industry woman because I think she's been around. But it's a very sad perception that people carry.
Yeah, it's a very bad perception. So that boils down also to the fact that our culture and Ghana being a Christian country, and the way that we have projected the entertainment industry out there with a religious background has not been the best. And I don't know if it's going to get better with the new generation, or I mean years to come. The mentality and probably is going to change because we have our grandparents and parents who grew up from a different era, and now you have like internet babies these days. Your daughter or your child picks the phone and they know everything. My daughter does everything on the phone that I don't even know. So I'm thinking that probably with the next generation, the next 100 years, the communication or the whole discussion will be very different. Probably religion and entertainment can move away, I mean, hand in hand along, depending on how things are projected, like you said. And then it will go a long way to maybe change certain perceptions that, okay, if I'm a radio presenter, or if I do this or do that, it doesn't mean that I don't go to church. It doesn't mean
I'll tell you what, if you go on TikTok, I don't know, maybe in your region, what you might get might be different. But in our region, if you go on TikTok now, 9 out of 10 girls who come on TikTok on the timeline turn around to shake their butt, show their parts. I mean, what kind of perception would a man carry again about women from that? It's sad, through no fault of, it's just negative influence.
Yes.
You hardly see female entrepreneurs showcasing things they're doing on TikTok, but rather you see a lot of young girls come on and then just join unnecessary challenges that project them in a very bad light. Yeah. When will this change? If you ask me, I wish I had the answer.
I think it's about is it called algorithm or something? I know I watched a video whereby it was saying in China, they don't show those things to them in China. So
yeah, China has blocked all those things.
Yeah, so Chinese young child who's an entrepreneur, so they are feeding them everything that is positive. So everything that's to shape the minds of the young people, everything that's to empower young people, that's what the Chinese are doing. So like you said, if you come to our part of the world, I think probably our government has to take charge of that, because if everything that's being fed to the young Ghanaian, it's not something that's consumable, then it's going to affect the next generation. So I think we are sitting on a time bomb where we have to do something.
To ask me.
So we in the next 100 years, in the next 50 years, things will get better, and we will still not be like going backwards. We have to move forward.
Exactly.
As a nation,
exactly.
as a continent. So, Jay, I'll leave you to say your last words before I leave you to go. And yeah, so you're free to.
Well, Ajua, my last words since 2007 on any platform I get to sit on has never changed. I keep saying that whatever you decide to do in life, you should know that it can be done. It only starts as a dream, so you lead, you challenge, or you can just forget it. And that's our 2131 slogan. So
2131.
that's all I have to say. But thank you for having me on your platform. I'm truly honored. It's an honor to have you have me be on your platform and shed some light on my insights, my perception, my journey, and my ideologies. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to other opportunities as well. Thank you.
Yeah, and I also like to say a very big thank you to you because I think I'm sitting on this platform now, in this chair now, thanks to people like you who gave me the confidence. I mean, hanging around people like you and Jeremy has really impacted my life in so many ways. The first time I got the opportunity to do any interview of the sort was in Denmark. That was in 2007, where there was a guy who started a radio station in Denmark, and he offered for me to host a show called Celebrity Lifestyle Show. And that was the first time. And that was because I looked up to people like you and Jeremy. I mean, back in the days, I'll come into YFM anytime Jeremy was hosting a show. And I think the whole thing of like wanting to also do something little in the industry has been because of you and Jeremy, and it also led me to be a presenter at Pravda Radio when it was started. I hosted the brunch show for about 4 months or 3 months before I left back to Denmark. So for me, being in this chair now, I'll give all the gratitude to you and to Jeremy, and I think I have learned a lot from you guys, and you have been my greatest motivation, and the confidence to even sit here to be interviewing you, and to have I've interviewed people like Sarkodie before. I've interviewed John Dumelo. I've interviewed Yvonne Nelson. I've interviewed Yvonne Okoro. I've interviewed Majid Michel. I have interviewed quite a number of people in the industry, and this has all been because of you, because of me looking up to you. So I'll say thank you very much, Jay. I don't know if I've told you before, but anytime I sit on this platform, anytime I interview anybody, I always have to go back to Jay Foley, Jeremy, even with Chris Attor. I mean, anybody I've known in the industry have basically been because of you guys. It's been because I've hung.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank
it's
you.
humbling to hear this.
Yeah,
thank you too.
It's really had a big impact in my life. And I like to say thank you for that. And I know there are many young people who have looked up to you guys as well, who are still looking up to you guys. And I know you've made the mark. And I'll say thank you for joining us this evening. And I wish you the best of days. And say great regards to your family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all the support you've given me all these years, Jay. I really
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I hope to see you in December if I happen to be in Ghana.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's been many years since I had fun in Ghana, so please give me some VIP tickets.
All right. We'll see you then.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. And it was a pleasure having you on JC Radio. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, too.
Okay. Bye. Okay, listeners, that was Jay Foley. That was Jay Foley on the Celebrity Lifestyle Show for today. It's the lovely Saturday evening, and the name has been Ajua. I don't know what you've been doing today with your day. I haven't been doing much. I think I've basically been in bed all day. And I have gotten in touch with loved ones today. I hope you've done same as well. Don't use your day pranking anybody. Don't make a fool out of anybody today because it's April Fool's Day. Rather use the day to connect with people you haven't heard from in a while. As April is a beautiful month. As spring in Europe and in the Western world. Oh, definitely we don't have spring now in Finland. But I don't know where you're watching us from, but shout out to you wherever you're watching us from. Shout out to all the people that watched in from Denmark, all the people that are watching in from Canada, from the US of A, from Finland, and from wonderful Copenhagen. It's a track by Dope Nation, and it says Zinabu. I don't know if what you're doing today, but very soon next week we'll be approaching Easter. It is a time where we reflect on the dying of our Savior Jesus Christ. And I know the Muslims are fasting as well. They have Ramadan. Shout out to all the Muslims who are fasting for Ramadan. And shout out to all the Christians who are preparing for Easter next week. Let's make it a pleasure to be nice to one another. Let's make it a pleasure to make the world a better place. Let's make it a pleasure to spread love and positivity. Be the reason why somebody smiles today. Okay, so it's been lovely coming your way once again. My name is Ajwa Osei, but you can call me Ajwa. And we're live on JC Radio.
Oh yeah.
There's a track by Ziggy, and it says, "You say what ting."
Hey, new hit.
I like this track because it doesn't have so many lyrics at all.
Hit one.
Just a few lyrics, and it was a hit song back in the days.
Then move to the left like this. Hey.
It says, "Move to the left, move to the right."
Then move to the right like this. Hey.
It's a beautiful Saturday evening.
Right. Then left. Then right. Hey.
If you're about to go to bed,
Right. Hey. Then left.
I wish you nothing but a great evening.
Yeah.
I wish you nothing but love and positivity.
Hey. Links. Hey. You say what? Hey.
Take life easy. It can be difficult at times,
Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Hey.
but it gets brighter with the day.
Hey. And touch your toes like this. Hey. All the guys, put your hands on the waist. Hey. Then move your body like this. Hey. Let's go. Left. Right. Hey.
I'll be signing out in a few minutes.
Then left. Then right. Hey.
Until then, enjoy this track from Ziggy. And the track says, "You say what ting."
Yeah.
Basically means, what do you say?
Hey. What's happening, Mike? Yeah. Hey. You say what? Hey.
If you're watching me now, please send your comments. I haven't seen many comments today. I want to know who's watching today. So can you send a comment, send a shout out? If you want to wish someone, a loved one, a shout out, please send them on the comment section and I'll read them out for you.
You say what? Hey.
And let me know where you're watching us from.
Yeah. Hey.
Shout out to once again to all the listeners out there.
You say what? Hey. You damn right. Hey.
Shout out to you, Amata, all the way in Kivisto.
Try me, I will dance like a bat.
Shout out to you, Matilda, all the way in Carakaleo.
Dance like a bat. Everybody say. If you look like me, I will dance.
Shout out to you, Monica, all the way in Maunula. Shout out to you, Julie and Daniel, all the way in Tikurila.
You say what? Hey. Make everybody sing with me now. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey, one.
Shout out to you, Samuel Ochiabe, Boachi, all the way in Olu.
To the left like this.
Thanks for joining us.
Put your hands in the air.
Shout out to you, Dr. Eric Kissy.
Then left and right. Hey. Go left and right. Hey.
Shout out to you, Kofi Esuman.
Go left.
Kofi Esuman. Shout out to you, I gotta give you a call.
Hey. You say what? Hey. Zega. Links. Hey. You say what? Hey.
Shout out to you, Atu, Atu, as you called.
Let's go.
And shout out to no other person but us, producer DJ Joe Coca in the building.
Everybody now.
He produced this show tonight.
Be the Chris. Everybody now. Be the Chris. Be the Chris. Stop. Stop. You say what? Hey.
Shout out to our lovely host on JC Radio, Diana Mansari.
Hey. You say what? Hey.
It was a beautiful topic you touched on this afternoon. Shout out to you, Ajwa Pokuya, all the way in Copenhagen. Wonderful Copenhagen, as I call it. I'll see you soon next week.
Feel that nation.
Okay, so I'll be signing out in a few minutes.
They want see my downfall, but the boy them know the flop.
There's another track by Dope Nation.
Zanku,
And there's a very popular track called Zanku.
Zanku. Enemies see they no be God, they want see my downfall, but the boy them know the flop. Me across my hands I jog. Zanku, yeah. You see the hater no fi made a god. Elementary, we be the feather cause. We them boys where they bring the old school to the 21st century. But we no be one of bros. What will they do for me I never know. If one door close, open another door. We know the mind. Say a band chimpo aye bedi. Me walk on tombre, my palava sauce. Me and me foko.
Says Dope Nation Zanku. I almost said Banku. There's a track by Dope Nation called Zanku. So if you join in, welcome and shout out to you. It's a beautiful Saturday evening, the 1st of April.
But the boy them know the flop. Me across my hands I jog. Zanku.
Shout out to you, Dr. Joyce Lawson,
I figure my steps. Even
who happens to be my sister, my blood sister.
Saturday I know they watch you.
Shout out to you, Dr. Joyce Lawson.
Holy Ghost fire, we go arrest them. She knew could try me for no say. Charlie, what was a free?
I know you'll be watching this as well.
I know they see you're jealous.
Shout out to you, Janet. I know all the way in Australia.
Me and me foko.
Shout out to you, Mr. Kofi Lawson.
Enemy,
I call you Brock Kofi.
they want see my
Mr. Carl Lawson.
but the boy them know
Shout out to you all the way in Melbourne.
hands are jog. Zanku. Kutusanya uka banku. You rise crab, you hotter than you. Kanzo, we hotter lanku. Zanku. Kutusanya uka banku.
Shout out to you, Kojo Poku Mahala.
Kanzo, we hotter.
Kojo Poku Mahala in Denmark.
I know they see you're jealous.
Kojo Poku is a famous black star footballer. He used to play for Kotoko back in the days. And he made his mark in the Ghana football industry. Shout out to you, Kojo Poku Mahala.
They want see my downfall, but the boy
And he's the founder of the Mahala Football Academy in Ghana.
Zanku.
I'll be having a lovely evening, Kojo Poku.
Zanku.
Shout out to you, Reggie ZP. Shout out to you, Reggie ZP. Talking about Reggie ZP, shout out to you, Sanko Fatiti Dance, all the way in the UK. Shout out to all the artists that have been on this show before: D Crime, Akablay, Episode, Trigmatic, and Reggie ZP.
It's okay.
And shout out to you, Chris Atto, all the way in LA.
Oh yeah, shake.
Shout out to you, Jay Foley, and thanks for joining us for today.
Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Them girls just they feel me now. Cause I get some money, then they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get down. They won't hold me for ransom. Cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm
That's a track by Skills, and he says Shake Body.
London. All the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah. I say all the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah.
If you're watching me now, let me see your comments in the comment section, and if you have any shout outs, I'll do justice for you.
I'm handsome.
In 8 minutes, I'll be out of here. That will be 10:30 Finland time.
Oh yeah, move body.
I got 8 minutes more to be here.
You ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
If you have any special track you want me to play for you, just send them to the comment section, and I'll try to see if I can do that. And until then, I wish you a great evening. Tomorrow is Sunday. I hope you're going to church or you're spending time with loved ones and family.
Hallelujah, eh. I say all the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah, eh. They hold me for ransom cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They won't hold me for ransom cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body. Now designer wear now. I they take all the girls on a wear now. I'm the man of the year now. Now my music they blow everywhere now. All the way from KD. The whole world now just to hear me. My haters just to fear me. And nobody feed that would hear me. All the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah, eh. I say all the blessings and love I they see just they make me they shout hallelujah, eh. They hold me for ransom cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. They won't hold me for ransom cause I'm young and I'm rich and I'm handsome. Oh yeah, shake body.
It's a track by Scales and he says shake body.
Make you ring alarm.
Shake your body this Saturday evening.
Oh yeah.
I'll say shake the weight off.
Coupe de calema. De calema. Cricata, cricata. Parote. Equilibre, 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 equilibre. Parote. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body.
Okay, shake that body.
Make you ring alarm.
Shake that weight off.
Oh yeah, shake body.
A good thing I like about music is you can exercise to it. Okay, so I got 5 more minutes to be out of the building. Thank you for joining us for today. And there's a track by Say, and he says Asida featuring Nero X. So tonight is more of Ghanaian music. It's a song that's praising God. In 5 minutes, I'll be out of the building. Before I go, I would like to say a very thank you to everybody that joined in here today. The name is Adra. Adra Osei, but you can call me Adra. It's been a lovely evening here on JC Radio, right in the heart of Espoo, Finland.
Yes, Moja, now you may send you a meteor winning more. I mean, can't you win ya and any pa? I want dear Nasa, a publicity. Yes, you should know a jammy. What time for Miss Lena Dame? Before my son, come up with some dinner hammer. Before my home and a dad to me a brame. Yeah, now Miss Lana Moo and Impire before. When I draw so I make catch. Wabra Bokuta, who I once said, one more player and blame you for.
Winner. Papa God be the winner. Who be the loser? Satan be the loser. Onunti no be a yine and catch it for. You and catch it for. Mama and catch it for. Let me the him mano. Go be around him mano. Abba me the him mano. Him mano. What him mano? Abba me the him mano. Him mano. Let him mano. Abba go be a him mano. What him mano? What him mano?
It's a track by Charse, and he says Asida, and it's featuring Nero X. In 2 minutes, I'll be out of here. It was lovely coming in your way this Saturday. the 1st of April 2023. The name is Ajua. And today we had Jay Foley on the show today. And a quick shout out to all the people that joined in. I can see Sheila Adu here, and she said Oba Joanie. Oh, thank you, Mama She. And we have Samuel Ochri Abeyobochi, Samuel Dwayne Olu, and he says you're doing good. We have Kofi Seyoram, and he said Jeremy and Jay were just fantastic those days at YFM. Thank you all for staying tuned with us today. In 2 minutes, I'm out. I wish you a lovely evening. I wish you a lovely Sunday coming ahead. If you're a Christian, go to church. Or find time, quality time with your maker. There's a track by Shadow Wale, and he says Mahama Paper. In 1 minute, I'm out. It was lovely to be here. The name is Ajua, and thank you for today, and I wish you a lovely evening. I love you all. Stay blessed, and I'm out.
You call me, my heart desire. You are the only one I require. I require forever, forever, forever. You know say I no go fit take another. Make them talk. I no go bother. If it no be you, then my paper. Oh yeah, my paper. Oh yeah, frankly paper. Inshallah. Let them alone, 'cause them in my love. While they say, yaro. To my Tommy, still by me, lean on me. Only on the make it cross this river. My brain bigger, my brain be bola. I go protect you like soldier. Gaga, manabada. Sami and now we are dada. Mama guy under fire. Or don't bring ye Sakuaba, Makoaba, Amunkoda, Bandana, Shatawalesi, Inshallah. Let them alone, 'cause them in my love.
JC Radio.
Yeah, that was Shatawale Mahama Paper. Yeah, thank you very much. That was Celebrate Your Lifestyle Show by Adra Osei. And we have to end the show. As you can see, I'm looking I'm so tired. Yeah, but tomorrow we have the after church show. That's the Sunday drive show, with your boy DJ Joe. We'll be here. It's strictly gospel to praise the Almighty God. Right after church, I'm here, I couldn't have this show last week due to one or two things, But tomorrow, live, we're coming live, 7:30. Tell a friend to tell a friend, we're gonna be in,
JC Radio.
Until then, on Monday we have an exclusive interview, one of the top designers in Finland here. I was shocked when I actually spoke to the person, and he said, Ghanaian. Oh my God. Man, some people are doing tremendously well in this country, you don't even know. I mean, I just couldn't believe myself that this guy was behind this design, On Monday we have exclusive chat with him, The poster is going to post out very soon, which is today. Yeah, we're going to talk about everything. So tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep sharing our page for us. JC Radio, we hit 10K now. It's by God's grace. It's not about strength. It's not about mine. It's by the Almighty God taking us this far. We are honored, and we're happy to have you as a fan, as a listener, and also keep sharing our page and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Till we meet again tomorrow. See you. Bye-bye.
Make them talk, I don't go bother. If you know be you, then my paper. Oh yeah, my paper. Oh yeah, frankly paper. Inshallah. Let them alone, cause them in my love. What they say, yaro.
JC Radio. Your number one online radio. JC Radio. JC Radio. Visit our website www.jcradiolive.com. WOB3. Woba.
My brain bigger, my brain be bola. I go protect you like soldier. Gaga. Mana bada. Meaning Sami and now we are dada. Mama guy under fire. Or just benye Zakuaba. Makoaba. Amunkoda. Bandana. Shata walesi. Inshallah. Let them alone. Cause them in my love. Walesi. Yaro. Me fun in Ghana, America and Jamaica. I they count my paper, I don't make granny feel hater. Hey, yeah, you want me on it. You know say me love you on it. Me love how you wine for me. You kill me when you call me. My heart desire, you are the only one I require forever. You know say I no go fit take another. Make them talk, I no go bother. If it no be you, then my paper. Oh yeah, my paper. Oh yeah, frankly paper. Oh yeah, inshallah. Let them alone, cause them in my love. What they say, yaro.
JC Radio. Your number one online radio. JC Radio.